Hey, what's up? This is Johnny Radtke, guitar player for Filter, and we're here with vocalvictim DE. In the new year, we'll be back here and doing a proper, extended tour in support of this record. We got off tour in the fall of September 2012 in the fall. So we went right into the studio and started writing and recording as we went along. So we had only had a few ideas that we'd written while we were on tour, but for the most part, we went in the studio and then didn't leave until March of this year. So we spent a lot of time just he and I just writing riffs, and then all of a sudden things just kind of came together. It was a lot of creativity flowing around. It's very effortless with he and I. We have the same vision and the same idea of where we want to go. So it was quite smooth, for the most part. And also lyrically, we both wrote lyrics together. So we were heavily involved, for the entire process. And it was great. I think it's always, for me, it's been about, writing what I know and what I've experienced, whether that be, love or betrayal or whatever. I think that speaks to me more. It's very personal to me. So my life experiences are very heavily embedded in these songs, and lyrically as well. Some things mean certain things to Richard, some things mean something to me, something different. And then our listeners can interpret however they want. But for me, it's very personal. Richard wrote the song Hey Man, Nice Shot, and a lot of people thought that was about Kurt Cobain, which it's not. It's about a U.S. politician back years ago who actually committed suicide on live TV. And his name was Arbud Dwyer. So, that was obviously very controversial. Stuff from our new record, the song Self-Inflicted is, that was inspired by just sort of some of the events that, the Sandy Hook shooting in America, or the movie theater in Denver a year ago, Columbine, stuff like that. It's just what brings a person to just slaughter innocent people, but then kind of say that they're the victim, they're playing the victim. Society made me do this. So that was, on this record, I think that was the most controversial for us. More to come, I guess. I don't know. We'll see what Rich wants to do. But yeah, I'm sure it'll be, we'll be on stage somewhere, playing a show, because we always are. So we try to play, the songs that have had the most impact over the years, whether it was commercially released or just with fans. So we'll, it's actually, we're very fortunate to have a lot of great songs to be able to choose from. If we could, we'd play them all, but that would be way too long and whatever. But no, especially for these tours, we like to play like the hits from the past, and then a lot of the new stuff as well. New fans will appreciate all of it. Old fans will appreciate all of it, and that's what we've seen so far on these tours. So, 3 items I definitely put in my bag. Well, let's see. I have to have my deodorant, my toothbrush, and socks. You need plenty of socks. I feel like I'm always buying socks on tour. So, yeah. Anything else I could probably just, I could go with the clothes on my back, but socks, toothbrush, deodorant. That's really hard. A lot of people have asked me, what's your favorite band? I can never pick just one. I have many influences. My favorite song of any song or a Filter song? Anything? Oh, wow. That's really tough. I don't think I can do that. But I can say with confidence that Red Rain by Peter Gabriel is up there for me. It always has been since I was, since it came out in the 80s. So that's to narrow it down. It's a very vague question, but yeah. That's a good question. I grew up, both of my parents are musicians and their parents are both musicians. So I grew up in the music business. I always knew I was going to be a musician. I started studying when I was very young. So I would think, when I started bands with my friends when we were like 5th and 6th grade, we had, Nevermind by Nirvana had just come out. when we were in 6th grade, and that was a big influence. Obviously, Nine Inch Nails, Ministry, stuff like that. So, and we were also big punk rockers as well. We loved Misfits and Sex Pistols and Dead Kennedys and all that whole movement. So, a lot of that kind of, we just, back then, there was, that was what you did, was if you could play an instrument, you and your friend, you'd find friends who did the same, and you'd start a band, and that's, there weren't all these other, it's like video games and all this other stuff that kids have nowadays. We were more interested in doing that. But so bands like that, they inspired us to, to kind of push the bar and really, take it seriously. Yeah. I love performing, but I grew up in a recording studio, and I'm very comfortable. That's my environment, where I'm just, can create and get lost for hours. And but I guess I love being on stage. I love being a performer, and it's hard to say, but I think if I'm gonna have to pick one, I'm always in the studio. So we'll go with that. Linkin Park, Chester. They can both be great. I don't know. I don't know if I could pick one. I'm a fan of both genres. So, well, one's an author and one's a musician. I'm gonna go. I respect both of them. I guess Steven Tyler's had an amazing career, and he's made some great music. And Stephen King is great. I'll go with Stephen King. Thanks, guys, for watching. This is Johnny Radtke from Filter. We love you guys, and we'll see you at a show near you.